Each November 11th, Americans commemorate our nation's military volunteers. We know it as Veterans Day, but the English refer to it as Remembrance Day. Regardless of the name, the meaning holds true, paying tribute to those who have answered their country's call. And for the first time in decades, British troops were able to honor their brethren firsthand at Habbaniyah, Iraq. This remote airbase, now home to the 1st Iraqi Army Division, was once a key waypoint for the Royal Air Force.
It was an important staging post between the UK, India and the Far East. I think it was the principal staging post, and also between North Africa and India and the Far East.
Weigel's aunt and uncle both served here, and one of his cousins was even born here.
They had a very happy 2 years here. She was an RAF nurse in the late 40s here at Habbaniyah. Then he came back out here to command the levies. So he was the last commander of the levies here, and was for a very short period of time a station commander before it all sort of was handed back to the Iraqis.
Life was much different for troops serving in Habbaniyah then compared to now. Families often accompanied their loved ones to this duty station. They served here, lived here, and a number of them even died and were buried here. But in the late 50s, the base was turned over to Iraq, and maintaining the cemetery became increasingly difficult. Then, after the First Gulf War, England's Commonwealth War Graves Commission had virtually no control over its upkeep, and much of the site was neglected. Since the return of forces in 2003, an effort has been made to restore the location. And although Weigel has no blood relatives buried here, he hopes continuing efforts will honor his brothers in arms laid to rest in Habbaniyah's sand.
It can all be restored, and a lot of these gravestones which have been smashed and desecrated will be renewed. Perhaps in a few years' time I can come back here and lay a wreath on Remembrance Sunday, and it'll be green grass, immaculate rows of white gravestones.
Lead us not into temptation.
Reporting for the 2nd Marine Logistics Group Forward in Roxall Lombard Province, I'm Sergeant Josh Hauser.
Forever and ever. Amen.